All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to decode the future of content creation. Look, if you're a creator, a freelancer, or you're just trying to break into the creative industry, you need to know the rules have completely changed. So we're here to give you the 2026 playbook for what's coming next.
And let's not beat around the bush here. This is a pretty stark warning, and it's from a creator who has made over $10 million online. What they're telling us is, this isn't about making a few small tweaks. No, this is about a fundamental shift that's going to separate the people who thrive from those who get left behind.
The thing is, the entire creator economy is going through this massive transformation right now. The strategies that built entire careers just back in 2020, relying on your personality, chasing subscribers, living off ad revenue, all of that is basically becoming obsolete. New algorithms, new audience expectations, they are rewriting the rulebook.
But hey, don't worry, there is a new playbook. And in this explainer, we are going to break down 4 seismic shifts. The audience becoming a co-creator, this new maximalist aesthetic, what the new creator identity looks like, and how you monetize beyond just ads. Then we'll wrap it all up with your action plan for 2026.
Okay, let's dive right into this first shift, which is all about fundamentally rethinking your relationship with your audience. Because that old one-to-many broadcast model, it's dead.
So, here's the absolute heart of it. The algorithm has fundamentally changed. It doesn't really care about who you're subscribed to anymore. It cares about what you're actually interested in. And this levels the playing field completely. You could literally start from 0 subscribers today and go viral just by creating content that serves a very specific interest or solves a very specific problem.
And what's driving this whole thing? It's a huge change in mindset. Just look at this. A full 2/3 of Gen Z feel like they have a significant influence on online culture. That's way more than older adults. They don't see themselves as just passive consumers. They see themselves as active participants who are shaping what's popular.
And this isn't just a feeling, right? It comes from experience. This is a generation that grew up in these super participatory worlds like Minecraft and Roblox. So they don't want to just watch your story. They expect to be co-creators. They want to remix your work, expand your universe, and have a real sense of ownership. So for you as a creator, this means you're no longer just a storyteller, you're a world builder.
Okay, so if the audience is totally changed, then it makes sense that the content they crave has changed too, right? This has given rise to a completely new creative language, and those old rules about simplicity and minimalism, they just don't apply anymore.
And that new language, it's called creative maximalism. It's basically how a generation that grew up on the complex visuals of video games and anime processes and produces content. It's dense, it's layered, and honestly, it can feel a little inaccessible if you're not in on it.
So let's break it down into 4 key pieces. First, you've got this sheer audiovisual chaos like in Skibbity Toilet. Then you have these sprawling, fan-driven worlds like Italian Brainrot. The content is just packed with inside jokes from these niche subcultures, and it pulls from everywhere, like how Brazilian funk music can suddenly become the soundtrack to global memes.
So what's the bottom line here? To succeed, creators have to learn to speak this language. It's a style that rewards a density of information and deep cultural knowledge, not clean, simple production. And believe me, this isn't just a passing trend. It's the new foundation of online culture. Which naturally brings us to our next big shift, a fundamental change in what it even means to be a creator in 2026. Because if the audience is now a co-creator and the aesthetic is maximalist, then, well, the creator's role has to evolve too.
Okay, so think about it this way. The old model was built entirely on personality. The creator was the brand. But the 2026 model, it's about building intellectual property, a universe, a character, a brand that can scale way beyond just you. It's about leveraging tools like virtual avatars and AI, not running from them.
And look, the scale of this opportunity, it is absolutely staggering. This is not some niche trend. Virtual creators or VTubers have been pulling in 50 billion views a year for the last 3 years. This is a massive cultural force, and it proves audiences are more than ready for non-human personas.
In fact, we're already at a point where more than half of younger audiences are engaging with these digital avatars. We're seeing everything from gaming streamers to fully virtual K-pop bands, like Mauve, hitting mainstream success. The audience is already there.
So, what does this all really prove? It proves that audiences are forming genuine, authentic connections with these personas. It shows that authenticity is all about the message and the value you deliver, not necessarily about showing your own face. For anyone building a brand, this just blows the doors open on what's possible creatively.
All right,
Now for what might be the most critical shift of them all. How you actually make a living from this. Because if you're still relying on ad revenue, you are building on some seriously shaky ground.
Okay, let's be real. Relying on just ad revenue, that is not going to cut it anymore. The real opportunity is in what we're calling the creator-to-founder pipeline. With 100,000 views, you might make $1,000 from ads. But if you identify a need and create a product for that same audience, you could potentially generate 20 times that amount.
I mean, just look at Corey Kenshin, a horror game streamer. He saw a real need in his community. There just wasn't enough Black representation in mainstream manga, so he created his own. He didn't just sell a product, he started a movement that his audience was desperate to support, and he broke records doing it.
Or how about Sarah Chung, her viral lip liner hack video that wasn't just a one-off hit. No, that was brilliant market research. It showed a clear demand for a better lip product, so instead of just making more videos, she built a physical product and turned a fleeting trend into a sustainable beauty business.
Okay, so we've walked through these 4 massive shifts. What does it all mean for you? Let's put everything together into one final actionable playbook that you can start using today.
So here it is, your 2026 playbook. First up, focus on interests, not subscribers. The algorithm rewards depth in a niche, not just broad appeal. Second, embrace maximalism. You got to learn the complex, layered, and referential language your audience is already speaking. Third, build IP, not just a personal brand. Create something that can outlast and outscale you. Fourth, think like a founder. Your audience is your focus group. Listen to their problems and then build them the solution. And finally, go to the extremes. The middle ground is vanishing. You win with either hyper-engaging micro-shorts or deeply valuable long-form content.
Look, at the end of the day, these shifts represent the single biggest opportunity we've seen on the platform in years. The playing field has been totally leveled, and the rules are new. That line between creator, community, and company, it's completely blurred. The only question left is, what are you going to build?